There's strange whispers coming from the University of North Texas. Whispers in the halls of legends untold. The election may be over, but that doesn't mean the haunts for college students are over. Students on campus find themselves discussing an elusive Goatman spirit, who's rumored to roam an abandoned bridge on the Old Alton Road, just minutes away from campus.
The Goatman's Bridge. Where do I start?
At first, I didn't really think anything of it. It seemed pretty, just like any other bridge. But then we went under the bridge, me and some friends, and that's when we saw it.
I don't know. Everyone says that's this spooky bridge that is not really gonna be that scary.
I don't even know anything about it. Where is it?
My peers may be indecisive on the Goatman, so I decided to do some personal research on the topic. Upon research, one can examine a history rumored in controversy. I decided to ask former UNT professor and local historian Dr. Shaun Treat, who had written multiple articles on the bridge, such as The True History Behind the Goatman, From Denton We Do It, and Denton's Top Haunts, Goatman's Bridge, and UNT. I set up an interview through Zoom to get some further knowledge.
I think probably the most well-known version right now is the story of Oscar Washburn. This Goatman legend tells the story set sometime in the 1930s. And Oscar Washburn was an African-American goat farmer, or goat herder, goat rancher, however you want to put it. He became kind of well-known, and so he hung a sign on the bridge that said, "This way to the Goatman." The local Ku Klux Klan were wanting to put him in his place, and so they decided that they were going to go lynch him. So they showed up at his shanty and took him to the bridge and put a noose around his neck and threw him over the side. But whenever they went down onto the river bottom to admire their handiwork, the noose was dangling empty, and Oscar Washburn was nowhere to be seen and was never seen again. So the legend goes that he had came back as the Goatman, and he haunts the bridge. And anyone who wants to have an encounter with the Goatman, they go out onto the bridge and knock on the steel truss 3 times.
The story gained my interest as a skeptic, so I decided to make my way to the bridge. To my amusement, people did not seem scared or as curious as me, but instead was full of people taking family photos and enjoying a scenic atmosphere. I wanted to see what would happen in knocking on the bridge, but before nightfall, I asked about my precaution.
Oh, are you asking me if I have some kind of occult warning or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, to me, that's part of what the function of the legend too, is that dare to knock, right? Because it is an invitation, right? I mean, it makes you hesitate a second. You know what I'm saying? That there's this part of your history you may not be entirely aware of, but it might come back to get you.
Walking in the woods at night was a much different atmosphere. Other college students, such as myself, found themselves on the bridge to further propel the legend. I took with caution on knocking on the bridge, but to my luck, no spirit showed. The Goatman's Bridge may have a controversial history behind it, but it now serves as a rite of passage for students to explore and discover legends. Perhaps the Goatman lives only through legend, but the intrigue will continue to grow with each generation of learner. This has been Sean Poole from Writing for Television and Film.